Hi, good evening. So tonight I'm going to share with you a few vocal toning techniques. So I've had quite a lot of messages this week from people asking when we're going to be able to do sound baths again, and at the moment we just don't know really. So I thought if I shared some of these techniques, at least you can work on yourself at home. And yeah, so we're going to use the voice, and I've been talking a bit about how I've been using it to transmute feelings, emotions, energies within the body over the last few weeks. And to do this, we need to allow the tones to drop into the body. So quite a lot of the time we use what we'll call a head voice. Stuart Pearce, the voice coach, talks about having a voice mask, and it's this upper voice that we use. So I'm using it now. It's this voice we use generally to communicate, but below that we've got a deeper resonant tone. So maybe if I slow down a bit and drop into this place, then you can tell it's a deeper tone. There's more resonance there, there's more gravitas behind it, but it's a slower way of speaking. So generally if we're communicating, then we tend to come up here and it's a bit quicker, but it's more of a head voice, but we lose that resonance. So it's the same when we're toning. We can tone from the throat, and that will resonate very much in the head. But what we want to try and do is allow the throat to relax and widen, and just allow the sound to come from here, or even lower sometimes. Just allow it to drop. So we'll start with a hum, because that's a good sound to start with, especially if we're not used to doing a lot of vocal work. It allows us to warm up our vocal cords, the muscles, because we're not pushing too much air through them. So my head hum would be this sort of pitch. And that's felt very much in this head space. Feel it in the upper head here. There's not much of a resonance, it's more projected out sound. But it's really good for stimulating the head, or if you have migraines, I sometimes use a really high pitched E sound when I get a tinnitus coming on, and it can help to counteract that. I know when I've got the right level, because I'll stop hearing the tinnitus. So that'll sound something like So this is quite a high pitch. You feel the resonances there and really projected out. So there's quite a lot of force behind that. So to get where we're transmuting energies in the body here, so we've got emotions that feel stuck or trapped, or a heaviness, sadness, grief, and we're trying to vibrate those energies, get them moving. We need to allow the sounds to drop into the body. So by opening up the throat. So as a hum, for me, this would sound like so it's a much deeper resonant sound. There I was halfway between that and my head voice. So and often, especially with these lower tones, they're going much more subtle for us to be able to feel them in the body. So what I was trying to do then was sort of project it out a bit so it could be heard, and it naturally takes it takes the resonances up. So especially with these lower ones, sometimes we might need to be really quiet and be really fine, so we can tune into those energies. And then when we start getting really technical, we can use different mouth shapes, different tongue positions to bring out different harmonics. So especially if we're starting to overtone. So yeah, besides using the hum, we might be able to use something with a slightly more rounded mouth shape, so maybe an O. So this is opening the mouth a bit more, talk about the mouth shape. O. And if we do that and allow that to drop down, then that we sometimes feel the resonance is much more in the lower chakra points. So taking a deep breath in to start. And we can continue doing this just in a gentle cycle then for 2-3 minutes will generally have an effect. So if you do this for longer, 5, 10, 15 minutes, you're going to get a deeper practice and start to affect our brain waves a little bit more. So when we're doing the toning, because we're taking deep breath in to start, so we fill up our belly and then the lungs, and then we tone from there. And it generally takes 8 to 10 seconds. If you're really good, you might be getting more than 10 seconds on a single tone, which means we're taking about 6 breaths a minute. And this is ideal for getting us down into our parasympathetic nervous response and our lower brainwave state. So after 5 or 10 minutes of doing this type of practice, we can get really spacey, we really drop into this altered state of consciousness. So yeah, I just wanted to share that, have a play around with it, see what you think. Sometimes finding the exact pitch, it just takes a bit of time, moving with the pitch and the frequencies, changing the mouth shape a little bit. But also within those 2-3 minutes, you should feel, you say when we've got heavy energies, dense energies in the body, sadness, grief, they can often sit around this area. So sound being a natural vibration, we can get these resonances to work in the body. And then using some more advanced techniques, we can direct them to different chakras or different areas of the body as well. So it's a really powerful tool, and like I say, it doesn't have to be hours and hours spent doing toning, just 2 or 3 minutes, or even sometimes 30 seconds. If that's all you've got, just give it a try. So they can be quite calming as well, quite calming, quite nurturing, and then also it can help to get energies flowing and moving and transmuting. So that's a starter, and you can use them, like we go on to other practices like 6 healing sounds, where you're using them with movement as well, which again, adding the movement elephant the movement element can make it much more powerful and profound as well. So I hope that's useful, and I'll speak to you soon. Good night. Elephants.